Hey there gang, Jackalair here, and this is a quick look at the arcade greatest hits, the Atari Collection 1 for the PlayStation. If you've seen my other videos, you know that I got this for Christmas along with another arcade collection from my stepbrother and his family. And firing this game up, it goes through the usual splash screens of who made the game, and once it loads the title screen, it instantly moves into credits. These credits clock in at about a minute 40, and they are skippable. They cover the people who worked on the original games, as well as the people who did the work on putting this collection together. Now, I've sped this up 4 times normal speed, just so you can get an idea of how many people actually worked on all these different games, as well as putting the collection together. Once you've either watched the credits or you've skipped past it, you get this very interesting intro that covers all of the different games that you're about to be playing. And we end in this circle where all of the arcade games are going to pop up as they looked back in that day. Once you get to the circle of arcade games, if you leave it there long enough, it goes into a demo mode and it shows you what the game looks like. The first game, Missile Command, is pretty true to the original. Now, since the analog sticks do not work on any of these games, and I have no ball to roll, the D-pad is my only choice. The greatest part is that each of the missile silos are controlled by a different button, just like in the arcade. As you can see, this game is still really hard. It's still got the planes that fly by, the little satellites representing Sputnik, as well as the missiles that come in and split into many different warheads to try and take out more cities. And also, just like the arcade game, it doesn't take very long for this to go from really bad to game over. The next game, Tempest, I never really played in the arcade, but I did have something like it on the Commodore 64. Once again, the D-pad controls hamper the game a little, but it's still very playable, if just not by me. I seem to die very quickly. This is Asteroids, and that's about all there is really to say. If you played this in the arcade, then you know the game that you're in for. Not really much has changed. You still get to turn around different sides, get smacked by little asteroids. You shoot the big asteroids, they become smaller asteroids. And generally moving is a bad idea, except when you're about to be hit by a rock. Battlezone is a game that I really don't remember seeing in the arcade, but it hooked me in a matter of moments. You steer the tank like, a tank, which means you control the different treads separately. It took me a while to figure that out. And you try and shoot the other tank before the tank shoots you. Now, the weird, I don't know what kind of graphics you would call these, basically just vector graphics, I guess. But this game was amazingly fun, and it made me want to play this game head-to-head against somebody. Unfortunately, I didn't have anybody else to play with right now, so I was just kind of going solo. Centipede. Oh, this sucked away so many quarters when I was younger. In this version, it is not hampered as much by not having a ball, since you have a limited range of where you can move, pretty much from where I just was over to either side and all the way down. Now, it's got the same classic sounds that you would expect, and it plays almost identical. It's a really good port, and I die real fast, as always. The game that suffers most by having to use the D-pad has to be Super Breakout. Now, the D-pad is just a little too touchy for this game, and the controls would have been much better if you would have had analog controls instead of the weird accelerating thing that you have. If you tap the button, it moves a little bit, but as you hold it, it increases in speed as it zips across. Two additional features that make this collection even better is that, one, you can actually enter in on the high scoreboard. Just like back in the arcade when you had those 3 little letters to choose from, and of course I always entered Jack. The second feature is that this comes with a documentary on the disc that you can watch at any time. Now, there are 6 chapters, starting with the Golden Age of Atari, and then covering each of the 6 games. They have history, photographs, and interviews with people from that time. Thank you for watching, and as always, play on!